What's up, guys? Parker Talks is back. There are over 60 mutants in the X-Men franchise, so let's rank all 60 mutants. Just kidding. Let's just do the top 10 and my top 10 favorite mutants from the whole series. This is not ranked on power, this is just ranked on who I enjoyed the most. So let's get started. So coming in at number 10, it's going to be a little different than just one character. We're going to go with the X-Force team, acquired by Deadpool and Domino as well. We have Zykes, Shatterstar, Bedlam, and the Vanisher. Vanisher is definitely my favorite in this. I mean, this is just a whole joke, basically, with this X-Force team, where they, try to glide in down with Deadpool to try to accomplish this task, and everything goes wrong. But it's just really funny when everything goes wrong. Brad Pitt is the Vanisher. You also have Terry Crews in there as well as one of the X-Force team. Also Bill Skarsgård. I mean, it's X-Force. So number 10, let's go. Coming in at number 9, we have Cable, who is in Deadpool 2, and this is obviously the same actor that plays Thanos in the MCU. Josh Brolin is the actor. He is just the complete opposite of Deadpool, as he is, straightforward and has a goal set in place, and then Deadpool is the complete opposite, making jokes all the time, and he is just all serious. That's what makes this movie even more funnier than it already is. Cable's just a cool guy anyway, or as he already has like a mechanical arm, and he can time travel, and the time traveling element is important as he's trying to finish his goal on defeating this particular person so he can save his family. So I like that whole aspect of the film, and I also like Cable as well, so he's at number 9. At number 8, we have Rogue, which honestly I didn't know anything about her when I was starting this X-Men franchise series that I had recently watched, and she plays a big role, especially in the first X-Men film, and she has, I feel like, one of the coolest powers of the X-Men that I didn't know of, so it was definitely a big surprise, as she can take or basically absorb the powers, superpower, strength, life, kind of like out of anybody, and kind of like control that, which is pretty cool. However, the problem in those films that she faces is that she feels like that's a curse to her, and she doesn't like that. However, what I really like in that first X-Men film is that she feels like it's a curse in the beginning, and when she's getting to know all these X-Men and she goes to the school and meets Wolverine and all that, she finally uses her powers to good in the way that she knows how to use that, and it works out in the end. So I really like that. It was definitely a pleasant surprise. At number 7, we have Quicksilver. No, not the Quicksilver from the MCU, but the one from the X-Men franchise, which apparently is 37 and a half times faster than the one from the MCU that we saw in Age of Ultron. Basically, just two scenes just make this character at number 7 for me. Both involve the same type of format, basically, where he's just changing things and like going super fast while everything is in slow motion, which signifies how fast this guy really is. As you have one scene where there's like a gunfight going on, and he just messes with the cops and puts the bullets out of harm's way of his friends and the other X-Men team, and so that's a really cool part. And also where he goes to save people from the burning house of the X-Men school, and he saves all of these students and all these kids from the school. Both are in slow motion. Both are very cool, and are a big reason why Quicksilver is at number 7. At number 6, we have X-23, also known as Laura from the Logan movie. Now, X-23, I believe, can be a big role for future movies to come when she gets older. I'm really looking forward, and I really hope they have her as a character moving forward in movies. Second, I mean, she's just a really cool character, as she has, claws just like Wolverine, and toe claws as well, which I was very shocked by. I knew she had claws like Wolverine, but I didn't know she had toe claws. Also, she just has incredible martial arts skills and all that. I mean, she's one of the lively characters in Logan, as Logan's going through all of this hardship and stuff, and he doesn't want to deal with any of this that deals with Laura. And honestly, she has no idea what's going on in his life. Yet she wants to try to better the situation, and she feels like one of the reasons to better that situation is to go north to North Dakota, where they can meet the other the other mutants, the other kids. So she's a great character in this movie. Even though she doesn't talk much, she does have a big presence in this film. So that's why she's at number 6. At number 5, I have Magneto, which is played by both Ian McKellen from the X-Men original trilogy and also Michael Fassbender, who plays him in basically the prequels of that X-Men trilogy. And I believe both actors do a great job as Magneto. I believe he has a great character arc in all of these movies, as he's this antagonist in the original X-Men trilogy, and before that he used to be friends with Professor X, and you see what happens that causes him for them to have their differences in eventually the original X-Men trilogies. He has a lot that happens in his life as Magneto, and there's a lot that you see in that as well. I feel like Magneto is basically very OP compared to all these mutants. I feel like, honestly, he's, next to Professor X, the strongest mutant that we see of a protagonist that we see. But I mean, he has a really cool power, as he can basically control metal and all that. Yeah, he's a solid number 5 for me, and a great character. At number 4, we have Professor X, also known as Charles Xavier, and I believe it was very close between Professor X and Magneto. I just feel like Professor X had an even bigger character line, as you see everything that goes on in his life, as you have both James McAvoy and Patrick Stewart playing him from different movies based on timeline. And the James McAvoy style, when Professor X was younger, is a more conflicted man that is trying to do what he believes is right. In the X-Men trilogy, you have, that's later in the timeline, you have Patrick Stewart as him with more calmness to him as he tries to lead these X-Men. And then in Logan, you have him as a very old man who is suffering with an illness as well. So you have so much going on with Professor X. I mean, he's the one that basically created the X-Men school and all that. And also he has a cool power as well by controlling people's minds or looking into the mind of other people. A lot of mind control time stuff. He has a lot of stuff that he's very good at. So he's at number 4. Very, very good character. At number 3, we have Deadpool, which, forget about the Deadpool that started with X-Men Origins Wolverine. When you look at these next 2 Deadpool movies that Ryan Reynolds had a second chance at basically changing up this character, you forget about the first Deadpool that we see in the first Wolverine movie. These Deadpool and Deadpool 2 movies are really good because they wanted to make it with a rated R film, to make this character the way they wanted it to be, with this guy, this Deadpool guy that's just reckless. He's just like doesn't care about anything he says, as there are a lot of cuss words in this film. It is rated R, but that's what really makes it funny. That's what makes this character pop. It's hard to see anybody else be Deadpool other than Ryan Reynolds, especially with his voice. It's just perfect for Deadpool, and Ryan Reynolds did a great job as this character who just like will do whatever it takes to do whatever he wants to reach this goal. And I mean, the Deadpool character is one that you'll never see again. Nothing will compare to Deadpool. Yeah, number 3, very great character. At number 2, we have Mystique, and I feel like it was very close between Mystique and Deadpool. I'm just giving the slight edge to Mystique because Deadpool can be a little too crazy at sometimes, even though I really like the character. Mystique is basically kind of like the opposite. I mean, she was basically an antagonist in the original X-Men trilogy, which alongside with Magneto as she was serving him. But I do really like the Jennifer Lawrence side of Mystique, as Mystique did have 2 different actors throughout the movies. And when Jennifer Lawrence was Mystique, I mean, she had a lot more, I feel like, character arc to her, as she was like switching sides between trying to save mutants, trying to serve with Magneto, just stuff like that. And also just like, I mean, she has a cool ability, not just her martial arts skills, but just transforming into anybody. I swear, I bet there was 10 different times that I'm like, is that someone else? No, yeah, it was Mystique, and I did not know it was Mystique because I'm so bad at that. She would transform into someone, and I would never know. So it got me every time. So she's at number 2. She's great, especially the Jennifer Lawrence character. I really enjoyed. But easily coming in at number 1 for me, and also for many, many people, is Wolverine. Now, Wolverine is definitely the backbone of the X-Men franchise, as you have Hugh Jackman, who is just so versatile, and he can basically play anything in any movie, and he is incredible as the Wolverine. And Wolverine is just in so many of these films, not just the original X-Men movies, but you also have a whole trilogy of Wolverine movies as well. Yes, I know the X-Men Origins Wolverine is not the best movie, but it does get better from there, as I did really enjoy the Wolverine movie when he's in Japan. It really stepped up his character, and then once you get to Logan and you see like his just demise and like how much he's gone through over the years, and it's 2029, so it's set far into the future. I feel like that was the best role as Wolverine that we see in the whole films. I feel like of what Wolverine is and what he has had to overcome and what he has gone through, I feel like that is the best interpretation of him. And I really enjoyed him in the X-Men original trilogy, as well as he is this guy that is struggling with, he has this ability and he is brought to by the X-Men, and he becomes a big leader in the X-Men team and basically all that. And yeah, I mean, very few of these movies don't have Wolverine. Wolverine has such a cool ability. Everybody knows his Wolverine claws and his healing factor as well, which honestly I didn't know about before watching these movies. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what else there is to say about Wolverine, but in so many people's eyes, he is number 1. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Are there any X-Men that should be in my top 10 that wasn't in my top 10? I would love to know. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you all in the next one. See ya.